Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the 2021 ANZCAR Cup here on FGM eCast. We are back after a week off and ready to go here at Martinsville, racing at the paperclip. Joining me here tonight in the broadcast booth is Dave Douglas. How you going, Dave?
G'day, Carlos. G'day, everybody. Going good, mate. Getting keen up the break and up for the dirt to get back on some tarmac. It's a still short track, but keen to get back into it.
Yeah, it's a tricky short track sometimes, isn't it, Martinsville? It's not the easiest of tracks to get it right on.
No, it doesn't have the high banking like the banking of Bristol, the old Coliseum, but it is a good technical track, but a still good track though. Little cookie cutter.
Yeah, it is definitely a fun one. It can be a bit tricky, so we are expecting to see probably a couple of incidents early in this race, but hopefully things will settle down once these guys get into the rhythm.
Yeah, definitely expect a couple of cautions here. It's got to be expected, but hopefully no silly cautions for no reason. I mean, we'll see how it all pans out, but a lot of incidents under practice conditions, but let's hopefully they tie it up for the race.
That's it. That's what practice is there for. You push the car as hard as you can. You make sure you can spin it in practice and not the race. That's always the old goal there, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's plenty of cars out here. I think we've got 42 cars out here tonight. So a lot of cars, small track. There's no sort of exit. The walls either side of you. So once something happens, you usually get a few more involved. So look for a big one here as well, especially on those straights.
Yeah, that's it. It's quite narrow as well on those straights. Very easy to ping pong yourself off that concrete barrier, and it can get very rough there very quickly.
Yeah, definitely. So just turning down the driver's chat there so I can hear everything, but I don't want to turn down too low just in case we get some heated exchanges tonight. We want to hear all that and be involved in it, I suppose, and get a bit of an atmosphere as well. So that's always good.
Don't want to miss out on that action for sure. So I'm just going to quickly go over the championship standings after seven races. We're on round 8 now, of course. So championship standings, we have a dead tie at the top between Josh Micklemore and Neil Pearson with 262 points each. In third place, it's Edward Foster with 221 points, so 41 points behind the leaders. 5 points behind the leader is Danny G in fourth. Fifth place is Michael Skurlock, 53 points behind the leaders. Sixth place is Raymond Yeager, 58 points behind the leaders, with Devon Stove up in seventh after that great result at Bristol, 62 points behind the leader. Jason Martin's working way up there, 70 points behind the leader, with Maddie Raymond up there, 72 points behind the leader in ninth. And 10th place is the ARCA Series champion, Lachlan Urquio, 86 points behind the leader, but taking out his first championship in ANZCAR in the ARCA Series, the development series, this past week. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, well done to Lachlan. Hopefully he can carry some of that luck over into tonight. But we've still got a minute 30 left of the warm-up here, and I can let you in on a little secret. Josh Micklemore is going to be on the pole with Barry Neal outside him. Barry Neal behind him in third. So I've been keeping an eye on the times in practice, and Barry Neal seems to have a bit of pace. So let's hope, touch wood for him, he has a good run tonight, and they can try and be up there towards the pointy end at the pointy end towards the end of this race.
We will run through the grid once we get that on our screens properly. Just need to wait for the cars to line up for that one, of course, but should be able to run that through, and it'll be extra quick time tonight. I reckon we're going to have to go double pace tonight. Being a relatively short track, of course, it is a short lap time here, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, it is. It's only about a high 19. Race pace will be probably a low 20. And basically that's what you want to do. So just get yourself into a rhythm here and just try and stay out of trouble and try and stay on that lead lap, which is going to be the hard part. But yeah, that'll be the aim to start this race, basically.
Yeah, that's it. And pitting's going to be a crucial thing here as well. Of course, they're limited to 4 sets of tyres, as always. So, they don't want to go through those tyres too quickly. It can be quite rough on the old tyres around here because it's such a flat track. Those corners are not too friendly on the old cars.
No, that's it. But the tyres, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue, depending on the cautions as well. For me, if it was me out there, I'd be staying out as long as I could, and take tyres only later in a race.
Yeah, we might even see a couple of 2 tyre stops. So let's start running through the grid. So on the front row of the grid, we've got Josh Mickelmore, Jason Martin. Second row, Barry Neal with Michael Skurlock. Third row, Neil Pearson, Edward Foster. Fourth row, Stephen Williams with Ryan Jones. Fifth row, Joshua Carroll Walden with Andrew Dyson. Sixth row, Philip Worley, Devon Stove. Seventh is Danny G with Mirko Dortnak. Eighth row is Harry Anastakis with Dwayne Priest. The eighth row, I think I'm at. Dwayne Priest, Luke Trahere. 9 is James Robbie, Maddie Raymond. Then we have Aidan Schultz, Matt Hunter on row 10. Chris Purnell, Ruben Phelps on 11. 12, Adam Rozelle and Aaron Dillon. 12, Phil Otto, Jason Hartigan. 13, Nathan Button with Gary Wellman. 14, Hamish Gallagher, Scott Griffith. 15 is Koch and Clark. 16th is Liam Ford, Riley Curtis. 17th row is Raymond Yeager and Greg Spence, and then final row is Justin Howe with Lachlan Urquio at the back at the moment. So quite a lot of cars out there tonight. It's going to be a tricky one for sure.
Yeah, certainly. I'm not sure if the graphics on screen actually lined up with the grid there, but we do know for sure that's Jason Martin and Josh Mickelmore on the front row. So Mitch Motorsports lockout in that front row, and then as I said, Barry Neal back there in third, and it looks like Skurlock in his outside. So it'll be interesting to see how the teammates play this in the first couple of laps here. Josh will probably get the start, but they've got to go on green on this first one, so no one's going to get a real big jump. But we'll see if Barry can get up there and try and spoil the party a bit for these two up front.
Yeah, got to say that beautiful livery with the Gotcha Racing team absolutely looks great. As we are getting ready to go here, we've got another lap behind pace car, so we will be going green very shortly. It's going to be a hectic one, and of course the main thing is just trying not to get too much wheel spin on the start, trying to get through that first corner relatively
try to get through it without getting run over from behind is basically going to be the plan of attack, because they do use the brakes very heavily on this track. Some tracks you don't use much at all. This one they need them brakes. As the pace car pulls down into the pit lane, we're about to go green flag racing, and away we go. Josh, good jump from Josh there. Barry Neal got a terrible start. He's had a Barry Croc back there. He's dropped a few spots already. He's got some on the outside and a bit of Foster there. Trying to work the other side, so it's going straight to the third place there.
I'll just jump over, Dave. It sounds like your microphone might be having a bit of a moment. Sorry. Barry Neal, just absolutely losing it there. The back end stepping out on him. As I said, wheel spin is something you've got to be really careful of on that start, and it caught Barry Neal out completely. That gave Skurlock a really good one there, as we've got a wreck going down the field. Tristan Koch, I believe, might be involved in this one. Big wreck down the back straight.
Jump back. Oh, that's Luke Trahere, is it? Oh, wow. Looking at the minute replays there. So
a lot of cars involved.
Yeah, is the microphone working yet, or am I good? Or?
Yeah, you're sounding good now.
All right, sweet. I might as well stop bloody rattling on while just in case. But Crank Esports car got a bit of a tank slapper going on there. I think that might have been the start of it. I'm not sure if it was the 43 or the 920, but we may be able to get another look for you. But yeah, a few guys caught up there.
Yeah, I think it would have been a 43, so would have been Luke Trahere, I think, there in that wreck, unfortunately, and then getting caught in a lot of drivers. Raymond Yeager losing almost the whole front end of the car. That was a big incident.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're just still trying to pick up the what is it is the 43 here, so we just got an on board or got a replay up here. So looks like he's going to have a bit of a tank stuff. Oh, nah, it's up a portion there. So, all good, but yeah, a few cars involved there. A few guys had to actually just stop on track basically to miss that one. So, yeah, not good.
Yeah, sorry, it wasn't Luke Trahere, it was Chris Purnell, sorry.
It was the 920, right?
Yeah. Sorry, it was the 920 of Chris Purnell there, getting up into the barrier, and that sort of...
Yeah, he just got loose coming off the turn, and just had a bit of a tank stuffing moment, got into the fence, and then Unfortunately, I think other cars just reacted around it, and I don't think he made contact with anyone until sort of later in the incident. But yeah, not something you see too often from the 920 of Chris Purnell.
No, that's it, and quite a few drivers caught up in that one. Unfortunately, a lot of cars really getting caught quite badly in that one. So a lot of damage, a lot down the grid. I think Jason Hardigan in the 51 was one of the ones that got caught quite badly in that. Adam Rozelle missing the whole front end of his car as well. So a lot of damage to a lot of cars there. That is what we were scared of there. So we will get back to settling down a bit after that first lap madness there. Micklemore in the lead with Jason Martin there in second, Skurlock in third with Barry Neal there in fourth. So he's going to hope to get a much better restart this time round as the pace car has peeled in, and we're going to get back to green flag racing here at Martinsville. Neil does get a much better run this time, and they are back racing again. Foster getting hit.
Foster, I'm not sure if he got touched there. I think that might have been a mistake on his half. But just checked out. I'm not sure.
He got caught by... He got caught by Ryan Jones there as well. Foster and Jones are getting involved. Just very tricky to see that one, but it looks like... Yeah, it looks like Jones has gone into the back of Foster in the braking zone. That's spun Foster round, and just may have been a bit of a late move in that respect. But unfortunately, his Foster's teammate Joshua Carroll-Walden got caught right in that. He managed to avoid damage, but he spun right the way around, and he was very lucky not to get much more damage in that one. But that was a bad moment for that team. Looks like Mirko Dornak as well just caught in that as well. A lot of cars caught in that incident there, and a lot of cars just stationary because they couldn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, it's just a parking lot down there in turn one. Hopefully this mic is working now, but yeah, you can see on that. It didn't look like Edward was just clear enough. I'm not sure, but there was a slight overlap, and Ryan Jones made contact with the 53 of Edward and sent him hard into the outside fence, and then everyone did a pretty good job of avoiding that. They get the cars pulled up, so hopefully not too much damage for anyone else, but definitely heavy damage for that 53 of Edward Foster.
Yeah, that's it, and I'm not sure what's actually happened up the front. I'm wondering if just because of that incident, there's some sort of weird moment there. It looks like it would have been Neil Pearson as well. I think Neil Pearson, he got tagged as well because when Foster got hit there, he just went straight into the back of Pearson's.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the momentum carried him into that one. But my system showing Skurlock as leading at the moment, so I'm not sure what's happened there.
Yeah, Skurlock scoring as the first place here. I'd say it was possibly a bit of a glitch because usually like when you go green and then almost an instant caution, while half this field still hasn't crossed the line, it can sometimes show it into a bit of a haywire there. But Skurlock's inherited the lead now, and see what he can do with it, I guess.
Yeah. Drivers are a bit unsure of how they inherited the lead there. So yeah, bit of confusion. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but yeah, some serious casualties in this early stage of this race.
Yeah, definitely. But Skurlock's got to make the most of it now. It's not his fault he got there. He's there now, so you make the most of it and see what he can do and try and hold on to the lead. But you can see these guys that just took the wave around. The pace car drops down, about to go back green flag racing.
Yeah, Skurlock's going to be leading the way. He'll drop the power early in this corner, try get a good run out, and he does indeed. And hopefully we will get a good clean start from everybody this time round, get some good green flag racing here at the Paperclip Martinsville.
Absolutely, Barry Neal making a nice move up on the inside of the 111 car there. He's got a DPR car for company. Ooh, little bump and run there. We're going to go 3 wide, almost out of turn 4 there. We got Denny G trying to make a move now on the 041 of Andrew Dyson. And I think that's, again, up into the 111. Who is that in the DPR car there?
Ryan Jones there, just getting up there. Ryan Jones right on that outside there, and he's there with Andrew Dyson. So yeah, getting very close there, Ryan Jones and Andrew Dyson.
Yeah, I don't think it was sort of Andrew Jones. Ryan Jones' fault there, but Philip was the guy who was actually, I was calling him, was sort of getting into him, bumped him twice, and just dropped a few places. But now he's got Andrew Dyson all over his back bumper now, hassling him for that position.
Yeah, it's a few different names up there at the moment, up at the sort of top end. A few names that we've seen have some good runs this season, but a few drivers that have worked their way up there quite well and doing a good job of getting up the field at the moment and just keeping the cars clean, and that's one of the important things. Just going to mention quickly, Hamish Gallagher in 16th position at the moment. The car looks a bit like a dog's dinner. There's not much of a car left, really, but he is up there in 16th position, so he has made some decent positions, but that car is not looking too healthy.
No, definitely not. It looked like Riley Curtis in the Mach 1 Esports car was just coming out of the pit lane, so he may have had a black flag that he might have just served there under that last caution for whatever reason. But yeah, he's come back out on track, and yeah, well below racing pace at the moment.
Yeah, quite a lot of damage as well to Riley's car, so may have just been in there for extended repairs as well. Meanwhile, Josh Micklemore is up at the front now with Michael Skurlock tucked in just behind him as the caution flag flies once more.
It must have been a car very far at the rear because it was in front of the leaders coming down there into turn 3 and 4. So one of the cars right at the back looks like they might have an issue.
Maybe a Mach 1. I've got Norman Clark.
20. We've got a replay here on the screen. We've got the 920 Chris Pennell gets hit by, I think that might be
Wellman.
Is it
Wellman,
Wellman
I think. Yeah, Wellman.
Yeah, so Chris, unfortunately, a little awkward contact. Looked like Chris ran in there a bit too hot and came back down, and Gary had his nose in there. So, he's turned the 920 of Chris Purnell around, and for the second time tonight, he's ended up in contact with the safer barrier.
Yeah, not an easy position to be in there. Wellman really didn't have anywhere to go there, unfortunately. That was a very, very tricky situation. You can't really get much lower than that on the racing line. Wondering if Chris just lost that car a little bit, just had a little bit of a step out or didn't notice Wellman there, and then bang, around he goes. So not been a good night so far for Chris Purnell. It's been going to be one to forget for him, I am sure.
Yeah, is he still on the lead lap though? Is he? Where is he? Let's have a look.
He's still on the lead lap from my.
He's not out of it yet. So he's still on the lead lap. The damage it doesn't have as big effect here just because of the short track nature. So the aero doesn't take as much effect. So he can still make his way forward with a beat up, banged up car. So look for him to move forward. He just got to stay out a bit of trouble now, get himself into a rhythm.
Yeah, that's it. It's getting that rhythm in place, and that's the hard thing. It can be very, very tricky. He's going to go a lap down now, though, as he's in pit lane at the moment, getting repairs done with Wellman. So I don't know if he's going to...
Who's our lucky dog here coming on the outside? Is the 23 of Raymond Yeager gets the lucky dog, so he'll get the free pass here. As you see on his screen there, he's going to go scoot past the pace car and he'll get his lap back.
Yeah, Raymond Yeager really unfortunate in that first caution. He was sort of caught nowhere and just lost the whole front end of that car. So a lot of damage to that car already. But as you say, he's on the lead lap, and that's the important thing right now, is being on that lead lap. Foster's come in to get some repairs done to his car. I think he's going to try and scoot out again before they come around. He's trying to keep on that lead lap from what I can see, although he has gone a lap down, so he didn't manage to make it out before the leaders came round, so he's going to lose a lap there, Foster. So not great news for him right now.
No, definitely not, but it's all good news out the front for the 31 of Josh Micklemore. He's having a good little run here early, doing everything he needs to do to stay clean and keep his car straight, basically, and yeah, doing everything right for the championship at the moment.
Yeah, that's it. And he is he's got a little bit, you can say a little bit lucky just with Neil Pearson getting caught up earlier on in that incident. Neil Pearson dropping all the way back to 16th. That is going to help Micklemore's chances for the regular season championship, of course. But there's still a long way to go in that respect. So it's not over yet, but leading is always a nice feeling. And Micklemore is one of those drivers that has led many things. So it's not new for him to experience that. Pace car lights have gone out. We are on lap 24. Got 126 laps remaining tonight. And Josh Micklemore is going to lead us away once more. Expect to see him get on the throttle just as he gets out of this corner. And away he goes, dropping that throttle there. Gets a good restart. Manages to drop Burnell a little bit. Gives a chance for Jason Martin to go down the inside of Skurlock there. Sorry, I think that's a panel of Michael Skurlock there. Gives Jason Martin a chance to get down there. You're also going to see Philip Worley try and push his way down there as well. Will he have the opportunity? He's going to stick right to the back of Jason Martin there. Almost like glue right there. But going to see Skurlock try and slip down there. He's got a good run out of the corner. He's going to get a little bit of a better run off the corners for the moment, but he's going to lose a lot of time up high there. And he has lost time indeed. Philip Worley's going to move past Skurlock, slot up in front of him, and gain a position there.
Yeah, Barry Neal putting a lot of pressure on Ryan Jones there, looking to go for a pass on the inside there of Ryan Jones. He makes the move on Skurlock now in the 350.
Yeah, Skurlock just dropping positions there as he's got caught right on that outside. It seems that outside is a bit tricky to run on at the moment. The car going very slow down the back straight. But that's okay. But you can see right there, Barry Neal putting the pressure on right underneath Skurlock at the moment. Neal there, Skurlock side by side, but Barry Neal's got the inside advantage at the moment. Skurlock's going to start trying to get some rhythm in that car and start trying to run that slightly higher line, but it doesn't seem to be working out there at the moment for him. He's not able to get that launch off the corner to get right in front of Barry Neal. Barry Neal's just able to keep that car there and keep Skurlock on that very high outside. He does go very high, and that's going to give a chance for Danny G to get past now.
Yeah, he just needs to try and get a line in. He's going to have to force his way in there, I'd say. But yeah, unfortunately, once you're on the outside there, it's a big freight train on the inside. So no one's catching him a break here. And Andrew Dyson's the next one too, as we've got a caution.
See what we can find. Yeah, that outside is really struggling at the moment. We'll see if we can find out what happened with that caution.
Not sure, might be a bit of a phantom caution here. We can't seem to find any incidents, so go back and have a look at this replay of Andrew Dyson driving up the inside.
I think it's Gary Wellman and Tristan Koch with that one. So Gary Wellman and Tristan Koch have just lost it and gone very slow. Lachlan Urquio as well caught a little bit in that one. But I can't see the full reasoning for that.
Yeah, a bit of an odd one. But what that means, we'll get another car on the lead lap, so someone will get the wave around here, the free pass, they call it these days.
Aaron Dillon, I reckon, will be the car that will get the lucky dog, the free pass this time round, so he's going to get back on the lead lap, I would say. He's just behind Josh Micklemore at the moment. So Skurlock's probably going to be quite thankful for this caution coming out when it did, because yeah, that's given him the chance to try and get back on that lower line.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. There's a fair bit going on the radios out there too at the moment. So we're still carrying on from the incident early on in the race between the 111 and the 53. I'm just going to go back and see if I can find that incident and just see if I can break it down a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll see if we can find out what happened there. And one of the other things to watch out for tonight as well is, of course, incident points There's 12 incident points for a drive-through penalty and 17 for the disqualification. And with so many bits of contact out there already, there's going to be quite a few incident points racking up, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely. So just looking back on it, Edward does make an aggressive move to the inside there, and I don't know if Ryan was aware of it, but just got straight hard into the left rear quarter of the 53 there. But yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one of those that's going to be looked back after the race. It's always tricky as well when you are racing on these short tracks, because you do put the aggressive moves in and you do try for the aggressive sort of movements in there. Of course, the racing line is one of the big things as well. So you could say possibly Ryan was on that racing line when Foster went down.
Yeah, you can see the replay there now. Actually, Stewie's picked it up for a slow motion replay there. I actually just right on board with Ryan. And from Ryan's seat, it doesn't look as aggressive the move from the outside for Edward. And maybe he just got in there a little bit hotter than Edward, being a restart. And I'd almost put that down to a racing incident.
Yeah, that's it. It's the thing of breaking points. That's always the big thing. Is it's who's going to break where, and that can really catch you out. But we are going to go back to green flag racing here at Martinsville. Josh Micklemore is going to lead us away, and he gets another good launch, gets a good jump over his teammate Jason Martin, who's going to slot in right behind him. As all, just in the background, we've got Perry Anastakis going around, catching Neil Pearson.
Jesus, messy back there. We'll endeavour to get a replay of that one, but all I saw was a red car going around with the Pakistan, I think you said, and then a few other cars just got involved. Short track racing, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, Anastakis.
Actually, 2 DPR cars. It was Pearson was the first one to make contact, I think, and then Phil Otto got into the back of Pearson, and then another DPR car of Stephen Williams, I think, got into the 144 on the outside as well.
Yeah, it was not a good lap for DPR cars there. Anastakis basically just lost it, just coming onto the start, onto that first corner. Back of the car's gone round, and he's tried to catch it, not been able to do much, and he spun right round in front of the pack there, and unfortunately Pearson was the first car to collect it, and he's collected his teammate.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a DPR parking lot down there, and a couple of the Mark 1 cars there involved as well. Looks like Aidan Schultz and Ruben Phelps, I'd say, new recruit from Mark 1 Esports. Ruben Phelps coming over from Bali team, but you can see those guys there getting into the brakes there. Mirko's in there. You can see it all happening up in front of him. And I think Stephen Williams in the 98 DPR car, the white one on the outside, thinks, yep, I'll go to the high side. I'll get through this. And unfortunately, the 144 comes across the front of him, and he's in it. Yeah,
the 48 of Matt Hunter, I think it was, got really caught up in that one as well.
Yeah, Robbie too, and the pink car, was it Aaron Dillon charging in it back there, and Edward Foster's charging in it back there as well. They're all having a crack here.
Yeah. I did hear on the radio that Riley Curtis has got a drive-through from penalties, unfortunately, just from accident, just from minor contacts and things like that. So it's one of those little oddities there, unfortunately, that's really going to hurt him.
Yeah, you only get 12 before you get the drive-through, and then we spoke about it earlier, and then I think it's 17, and then it's a DQ. Your night's over. You put it back on the truck and head home.
Yeah, that's it. We saw penalties coming into play at the in the trucks on Monday night at Circuit of the Americas, of course, for track limits. Tonight it's a bit different, of course, because there is a bit more rubbing going on, a little bit more contact, and that's what's causing it tonight for sure. It's not easy, though, on some of these short tracks, because it is so easy to make contact, and it's very hard to avoid people as well. As we said, it's such a narrow track, this one. When you do have a big accident in front of you, especially one when it's a driver quite high up the order, it can really ruin your night.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason for that is you've got, say, a pack of 12 cars, a car spins in front. All those 12 drivers all see what's in front of them differently. So some are seeing the accident, some aren't seeing the accident. Some are braking, some aren't braking, and it all sort of just mashes into one big accident. So it's easily to get amongst it here.
Yeah, absolutely, and gotta say, ANZCAR's like did the right thing of just holding the car in position, but you can't really do much in a position like that. As pace car comes back in, we're going to go back to green flag racing here at Martinsville. Micklemore is going to lead away again, gets a nice restart once more. This time, Philip Worley's actually managed to get a bit of a better restart than Jason Martin. Danny G just running a bit wide at that restart, braking a little bit late. Worley's managed to get down the inside of Martin. He could have a run here for second place. He's going to go down there. He holds it there really well and pushes Martin out wide. Martin's going to be on that high side. That's going to lose him a bit of track position. We got a little bit behind. We've got another.
Danny G just made contact with the DPR car down the front straight. We stayed green. They both sort of kept it going. Danny G just got into the outside. I'm not sure if he got squeezed there at all.
Yeah, he got into Andrew Dyson. Danny G actually just lost the back end of the car there. So he lost the back end going through the corner. He just gets a bit squirrely there and just goes into the side of Andrew Dyson. So good job by Dyson and Danny G for keeping that car going straight, because that was almost a huge wreck.
Yeah, it was a great save from the 041 of Andrew Dyson there. And just awkward contact there, but as I said, they both saved it. They both fired on for now, and we stay green, which is good to see. And as I say that, we've got one spin in the background I just saw there. Not sure who it was, but yeah, we're under caution again.
Neil Pearson involved in that one, I can see. Matt Hunter. So let's have a little look at this replay. So let's see what's happened here. So, Jesus,
looks like
Matt Hunter's gone round there, I think, and yeah, we'll try and have a bit of a closer look at that one. So it looks like Hunter might
on the exit.
Yep.
You just see on the replay here, he just loses it on the exit, and then, as I said, you got a pack of 6 cars behind him, all seeing it from different angles, and they just unfortunately become part of the accident then.
Yeah, and not much you can do with that, unfortunately. That was a very unfortunate one there, really, and it's, as I said, this track can be very tricky.
Oh,
does he get touched?
He does. He does. Yeah. He's getting a touch from the 71 there, or the 78 of that pink car. So, unfortunately, not Matt's fault at all. He's just been turned.
Yeah, just caught around. So yeah, just turned around there, and that's what caused that caution to come out. I'm trying to.
Apologies to Matt for saying he lost it. He's definitely helped there.
Well, from the moment we saw it, it looks like he might have lost it. But once we saw that properly, we could see what had happened, and yeah, definitely helped around in that instance. Just that little bit of contact there. I've got a feeling that might have been Justin Howe, I think. That may have caught him.
Get it up, but I wonder if we can go back for the replay of Andrew Dyson's save at the contact with Danny G, because, man, I tell you what, that thing was left to right, and he somehow pulled it back into the line and kept on trucking on. There was some save there, definitely.
Yeah, it was an absolute super save, similar to the similar in spectacular saves to the one that Dwayne Priest did a couple of races back. Where he managed to save it, going almost a full 360. So we've seen some good saving in the series, but it can be tricky, and these things are not easy to save either.
Here we go. We've got the replay up on for you now. Watch the save from Andrew down the front straight here. Danny G gets loose, gets him in the rear. Saves it. What a great save. Good car control from the 041 there of Andrew Dyson.
Yeah. Beautiful job there, just keeping that car going in an almost straight line.
Our producer to be able to find out for us and give us those replays.
Yeah, thank you, Stuart, for getting the replays working properly tonight. Nice to see. We've had a few upgrades, and things are getting trucking on a little bit as we go in the series with FGM. It's been nice, and things are improving, and we're having a few less technical difficulties as well, which is always good. I'll touch some wood when I say that. But they're going to start pairing up 2 by 2 now. Josh Micklemore back in the lead. Philip Worley's going to be on that outside now, and this could be Jason Martin's chance to pay Worley back. If he can get underneath Worley this time, you're going to see Worley struggle a little bit on the restart. pace car is going to come in. Josh Mickelmore is going to drop the car, put the loud pedal down and get away. Gets a good start there. Jason Martin as well gets a very good... Oh, Wally just gets a bit loose on the outside, manages to catch it. Very, very, very close there for Wally, losing it there at the front. That's going to give Jason Martin the opportunity to get past, but again, a good save there by another GPR car. Philip Wally there just saving that car from a almost big incident at the front of the field. Just put the foot down a little bit too quickly there on those slightly worn tyres. Easy thing to do, but now he's got Barry Neal underneath him, who's going to try and put some pressure on him. Michael Skurlock just behind him as well. Skurlock on that low line now. He does not want to get caught out on that high line again. He knows how perilous it is. He's got Skurlock and Jones side by side, Neal and Wally side by side at the moment. Neal does look to have the better of it at the moment. Looks like he's going to make the pass here on Wally, and Skurlock's going to try his luck to get past there as well. Wally very aggressively comes down in front of Skurlock and holds Skurlock off.
Yeah, he just snuck in there, and I think it was the restart from Josh Mickelmore there. Caught him by surprise, went very early. As Jason Martin slowing on the inside there, so he must have had a bit of a moment up ahead here. So Barry Neal's gone out, ran outside of 21 of Jason Martin, and now he's got Worley on his outside for company as well.
Yeah, big moment there for Jason Martin. That would have been... it's one of those things we don't always see. He just lost it coming into the corner. He just lost it a little bit going through turn number 4. Back end just steps out because he hit the curve, and that's why he lost that speed and position. But that has given Barry Neal the opportunity to get up there into second place at the moment. Wally just behind Jason Martin. Then you've got Skurlock just behind him at the moment.
Yeah, Devon Stove just had a bit of a moment, just lost a spot there, just went a bit too hot, went up the track, and no harm, no foul, just lost a single spot there, and that was to the 35 of Josh Carroll-Walden, but he continues on. And yeah, we've got a bit of a good race down here. We've got a couple of Mach 1 Esports cars there, and Ryan Jones is up there in the triple. Oh, we got one on the fence there on the outside.
Mirko Dormack has gone up into the fence.
Yeah, we'll have to get a replay of that, see if he got a helping hand there, because it was a weird way, the weird entry to that turn that he had. It looked like he was heading backwards there. As he's on the outside, yeah, no, he just lost that one on his own, so I'll call him out. No, and he did lose that on his own.
Yeah. Just got caught there. And just went in a bit too fast and got caught between the concrete and the tarmac there on that corner, and that just lost that rear end. That's
right. He could be running a bit more rear brake bias than a few of these other guys, so I might have just caught him out there on that high line, being out of the groove possibly, and he's just back there straight to the safer barrier there, unfortunately, for Mirko in the 62.
Yeah, we had a bit of a check-up at the front as well when that caution came out. Skurlock just got into the back of Wally. Ryan Jones into the back of Skurlock, and then Hamish Gallagher into the back of Jones. Just a little tap between all 4 of those drivers. Just before that caution was going to come out, though, I was going to talk about Hamish Gallagher, who has come into pit lane, I think. So I was going to mention Hamish Gallagher. He was up 26 positions up there at the front. He has just pitted for some fresh tyres. So Hamish Gallagher's just come in and chucked some new tyres on there, got a bit of repair done to that car. Not that you can really repair much of that car anymore. I don't know how much of it's car anymore. Most of it is just tyres, but he's managed to chuck some fresh wheels on there. So he's rolled the dice a little bit, and he's going to see what he can do at the tail end of the field now on those fresh tyres. We'll see what difference fresh tyres can make now for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, and. While we're on the caution, we'll run through the top 10. So we've got Josh Mickelmore first, Barry Neal still second, Jason Martin third, Philip Worley fourth, Michael Skurlock fifth, Ryan Jones sixth, Andrew Dyson seventh, Josh Carroll-Walden eighth, Devon Stove ninth, and Luke Trahere running out your top 10.
Yeah, and it's been a tough race out there tonight so far. It's definitely been a very tricky one for all of these drivers. We did expect to see a few cautions out there, of course, tonight, but it is so easy to make mistakes here at Martinsville. It's a very difficult track to run because it has got such low banking.
Discord. No, it's going again. Something happened on my Discord there. I'm having a bit of issue
Oh.
here.
That's okay. So, yeah, we're just looking through some of the cars as well, and looking back towards Luke Trujillo there in 10th. He's got a very clean car at the moment. Won't say too much. We don't want to put the curse of the commentator on anyone. A few cars are looking a little bit second-hand. Josh Micklemore is very, very clean, as well as Barry Neal. Jason Martin as well. Philip Worley, a little bit of damage to the back. Slight scrape to Michael Skurlock as well, of course. But a lot of cars are getting a bit beaten up out there. But there are a few fresh ones still out there. And we've seen time and time again how keeping those cars clean can make a difference, of course, as the race goes on. Okay. So it is really spicing up. Just looking through the field as we're just going to start getting back ready to go back to the green flag racing very shortly. Pace car lights have gone out. Pace car will be coming in very, very shortly, and we will see Josh Micklemore once again lead us away here. The big thing is going to be on this restart, just getting the car absolutely planted right. These tyres are starting to get a bit worn. They've done 63 laps now. We've still got 87 laps remaining, but this is where the danger zone does come in on those worn tyres. It's very, very easy to make a mistake and for all of a sudden that car to go spinning right around. But Josh Micklemore does get a good restart there at the front. Very clean restart. Jason Martin just loses almost loses a position to Philip Worley. Barry Neal as well gets a good restart there as well. Jason Martin's going to have the inside line on Philip Worley at the moment. Worley is going to try for that outside line, try and get past as quick as possible. He doesn't want to be caught on that outside line because that outside line, how we have seen, is that bit trickier to run. Skurlock is pushing his way up there, blocking Worley's chance to get down on that inside line. And Skurlock is going to try and take that position away. Ryan Jones just behind him as well. So those guys are battling it very hard at the moment up the front of the field. Very close racing there, but Michael Skurlock has managed to do it, and we've got another incident behind. We've got a lot of smoke, and we've got Aidan Schultz around. We've got a lot of cars around there, and Aidan Schultz has lost it just going into the start-finish straight, unfortunately. He clipped the curb. Similar to what we saw Jason Martin do. He's clipped the curb. James Robbie's just gone in, and we've had a few cars just tag him. Matt Hunter in there. One of the Simrigs cars as well, and the 09 of Norman Clark. So a few cars getting caught up in that. I think it was Phil Otto in the DPR car there, getting caught in that one. Aidan Schultz is just got caught there just on that curb and just spun it around. A very easy mistake to make. You just go a little bit low there, and all of a sudden that car is going to go right around on you. So, disaster there for Aidan Schultz, and you've got to say Matt Hunter, I think, might be getting close to out of this race. It looks like there's some black smoke pouring out of that car now. Does not look like that thing is going to be going much further. I think that engine is just about fried. So that might be Matt Hunter out of the race. Parry Anastakis is going to get the lucky dog, though. He's going to get back on the lead lap after that incident a little bit earlier on where he lost the car. So he's going to get back onto the lead lap. He's going to be pretty happy about that one. Just looking down the field at the moment at some people. At the moment, Edward Foster is 2 laps down in 28th position. So quite a few positions down for him, which is not where he wants to be. That's going to really be affecting Foster for the championship. Just try and have a little look as well for Neil Pearson, who is still on the lead lap. Neil Pearson. But the front end of that car is it's not looking great. Good for cooling, but not much else, unfortunately, for Pearson. But he is on the lead lap, most importantly. Yeah, it's taken a lot of punishment out there tonight, unfortunately. It's been a tough race for a lot of these drivers tonight, unfortunately, and we are definitely seeing that as it keeps going.
Absolutely. Dave's just having some mic problems there, so I'm just going to jump in and give Carl a little bit of a hand here so that he doesn't explode Barry Tapp style, trying to commentate through the race with everything that's going on here. And just asked if you're watching, who is your tip for the win? Damon Stockton's come on and said Aiden Schultz. He unfortunately has once again swallowed that black cat tonight, so he's got a lot of work to do, but albeit having been involved in a couple of the incidents so far, that car in a lot better condition. Some of the other ones we just highlighted just before, so we'll see how Aiden gets on. Josh Mickelmore, guess that's the benefit of being up the front. These cars up the front here still looking extremely clean. A couple of Mitch Motorsport boys there as well. Simri's cars have had a hard night, but they've still got a few clean. Luke Trahere there, he's clean, and obviously Michael Skurlock as well, as the pace car pulls in, and we're going to go green flag running again. So let's see if we... it's been about every 10 laps we've had a caution. Let's see if we can get a little bit longer underneath this now.
Yeah, hopefully we can get some good green flag laps under our belt. Trouble is, right now it's all Wally gets caught... Wally just catches Barry Neal there and pushes Barry Neal out of the way. So Barry Neal just lucky to get that car back under control. But that was almost a little bit of a clumsy restart there. But Wally very aggressive on that restart. Now side by side with Michael Skurlock. I was going to actually say, I was about to put the curse of the commentator on Barry Neal because he's looked fast all night long, but the curse preempted me, it seems. So Barry Neal still in contention though, just lost a few positions on that restart. But yeah, you've got to say Josh Mickelmore has got this under control at the moment. Having Jason Martin behind him is only going to help things out. Those two will fight for position though. It is definitely not over between those two, and they're still going to go for it. As Ryan Jones and Joshua Carroll-Walden get into each other. We've got a caution out as Joshua Carroll-Walden and Ryan Jones go into each other, and
it looks like Aiden Schultz was involved in that as well there, unfortunately, as we've just talked about that black cat that seems to have come with him as he's jumped into ANZCAR. We'll go back and have a look at Ryan Jones here, just getting out of shape. So they're coming up there. JCW down on the inside. Maybe just not quite enough room there. So you see the 111. He's going to a slide and then he gets collected. Aiden Schultz, nowhere to go there. Coming around blind. Smoke, as we spoke about last week and over the last couple of weeks, pretty thick with the updates and the drivers. You cannot see anything. So Schultz there, just unlucky again.
Yes, Schultz has got to stop swallowing those black cats. He needs to look at getting a prescription of maybe white cats or something like that, because he's definitely had some very bad luck. Some of it, you've got to say, some of it a little bit self-made. Obviously, when things go wrong, when you catch the curb like that earlier in the race, but a lot of times where he's just being caught out in situations like that. So real shame for him there. So big incident that's brought the pace car out once more tonight. So that's brought us down to 20 cars on the lead lap now as well.
Just trying to identify there who's going to get the lucky dog. Is that Phil Otto who's going to get it? Yeah, I think so. Either that or James Robbie. So one or the other will be making their way back up to the front. Dave's trying to rejoin us. He's just giving the computer the old IT. Have you turned it off and turned it back on again? And hopefully be back with us shortly to resume. Where are we at the moment? Only about halfway through, just over halfway through this race, and we're already up to caution 9. We're having a little bit of a commentator's pool before the race as to how many caution flags we thought we'd get tonight. The magic number was 12. I think unfortunately we may surpass that, but as the field continues to stretch out, they'll become fewer and far between, so we should get some good green flag running towards the end of the race.
Yeah, that's it. And what this does, of course, is it means these cars can go much longer in this race. You might see a few people rolling the dice and trying to get to the end without coming into pit lane. if they can. It can be a bit tricky in the Cup cars because it's a bit of a longer race and they use a little bit more fuel. But we did see at Bristol in the trucks with Luke Trahare's first win this season. Him just fuel saving and getting to the end of the race because of those cautions and staying out there and getting the win. So he could be one to watch out for if he can fuel save and get that car to the end. Another one to watch out for is JCW, Joshua Carey-Walden. He has been having some good pace up there. Ruben Phelps up in the top 9 as well. As I say, fresh to Mark 1 Esports, Ruben Phelps. He's jumped into that team. And he is been one of those drivers that's had a spectacular season so far, been doing a great job and been getting those good positions up at the front of the field. But the pace car has come in. We are going to go back to green flag racing. Josh Micklemore once again gets a good restart on that low line, gets a good drive off, and Jason Martin manages to keep it there. Philip Worley going down the inside of his teammate of Andrew Dyson, getting the move done quite quickly there. That low line is definitely the place to be. That high line is really suffering out there.
Yeah, Skurlock lucky there. He just almost got hung out to dry again on that high line, which penalised him early on, but just elbows out style, getting his way back down onto the low line and joining the train here. We've got the 2simrigs.com entries of Worley and Dyson. Dyson's been quick as well, driving well, so it is definitely a battle of the teams at the front at the moment. With those two Mitch Motorsport cars at the front, followed by the 2simrigs.com. Nice and clean, and they'll run together. If we can get some green flag running, this is going to be one to watch.
Yeah, that's it. It's going to be some fun racing. Get some good green flag laps. It's going to get very, very dicey up the front. Got to say, Philip Worley has looked to have some good pace out there. Oh, as we see, Ruben Phelps and... who was that? Ryan Jones and Ruben Phelps getting into each other there. Ruben Phelps losing the rear end on the exit of the corner and just tagging Ryan Jones there. So Ruben Phelps he managed to save it getting straight, but unfortunately in doing so he had nowhere to go other than into Ryan Jones in that low line.
Interesting too, Jones there, just hitting the curbing just on the entry to that corner. You see Phelps get a little bit nervous there, and then he's jumped on the gas a little bit too hard and just gone straight down into Jones there, and that's pushed him straight off into the wall. So Jones will have to head into pit lane, get some repairs done for that one. That's going to have a big impact on the remainder of his evening. So
Yeah.
And normally get to park there right at the end of the race run, not during the middle of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's it. Very, very unlucky there. And I think this is going to be quite a big one for Ryan Jones because he did take a big whack to the left front of that car. So I reckon he's going to have a bit of suspension damage tonight. So he might have a bit of suspension damage after that hit, and that could really start affecting him there.
You've got to remember too, some of the drivers that have made their way up to the front so far were involved in earlier on incidents. So, one person to quickly have a look at, Lachlan Equisio, he got, you can see there, the damage on the back of the 42. He was involved in one of the early incidents in the race, and he's now up 29 positions inside the top 10. We did mention Luke Trahare just before with his clean car. Devon Stove is having a really good run. Want to give him a bit of airtime too for short shift. So there's plenty of contenders here. It's albeit Josh Micklemore has led this one basically all night. There's plenty who can still contest this one at the end. As you say, the fuel strategy is going to change with the caution periods. Micklemore was managing fuel just before we were on board with him and having a look at that, and he's just idling around the track. So I'm not too sure what to try and pick here, whether or not you want to have a gamble on a winner, but yeah, it's going to heat up.
Well, we've got 63 laps remaining now. Well, nearly 63 laps remaining. We're on lap 87 now. It's getting up there, and we've lost a lot of cars now. We're starting to the pack is starting to thin out a little bit, you've got to say, but there are a lot of cars out there still with quite a bit of damage, and just keeping going and keeping up the pace So we've still got everybody down to Jason Hartigan running in 32nd place at the moment. So a few cars out there with some less than ideal condition on them. James Robbie this time round getting the lucky dog, so he's got back on the lead lap, so that's going to help him out quite a lot to just be on that lead lap, because you've got to be on that lead lap to really have it working for you. That's the big thing, but it is very tricky out there. But you've got to be in it to win it. That's the thing. And anyone on that lead lap can be in it to win it. Pace car peels back into the pit lane. As we've said a few times tonight, Josh Mickelmore is going to lead us away. Watch out for wheel spin on this restart. Can be a bit treacherous now as those tyres start to get worse and worse. It can be very easy to loop it, but everybody getting away quite cleanly there. Jason Martin just slotting in behind them. Devon Stove, I think, just getting a little bit of a tap there, just moving up the field. But everything okay at the start there. Just a couple of little bumps and taps. Devon Stove's going to lose a couple of positions as he got caught on the high line. So he's going to drop down quite a few positions there, unfortunately, on that restart. But Josh Mickelmore does get a fantastic job on that start again. Danny G working his way up the field nicely, as well as we've got some slow cars in the background.
I think it might have just been a few diving down to try and get into pit lane there. Steve Williams jumped into pit lane as well. So just trying to keep an eye, see if anyone's gone off. Doesn't look like it. But Steve Williams jumped into pit lane.
A few people coming in there and just causing a little bit of a backup there, unfortunately. Which again is something you've got to be careful on this track, because again it is such a short pit entrance. It is very, very quick. Neil Pearson coming in, I think actually retiring the car. So I think he might have got the penalties, unfortunately, and pinged out of that one, Pearson. So because he did get caught in a few incidents tonight. So that is one of the championship leaders out of this race, while the other one is leading it. So that is huge, huge news for the championship aspect.
So, well, actually, Neil's jumped into the infield care centre. We just dragged him up into the combox. Neil, unfortunately, out of the race for the night.
Yeah, too many incident points from everyone hitting me.
That is such a shame. I was actually just speculating about that one. You did a great job to get back on the lead lap and was keeping it up there in relatively good position with so much damage on the car. Looks like it's been really tough out there tonight, though.
Yeah, it's pretty awful, to be honest. It wasn't fun. I mean, I got smashed on about lap 5 or something, and then put to the back, and then on the next incident someone just rolled and didn't hold their brake, and I got more incident points, and yeah, it hasn't been fun. It's a shame, because this place can be a lot of fun to drive. I mean, it's a really good fun track, and if people just gave room and thought about what they were doing, we'd actually get some really good long distance runs.
Yeah, we've seen that a bit tonight, unfortunately. People being a bit too eager and a little bit too happy on the old accelerator pedal. It's a big shame to see you out of the race this early on, of course. And we were just saying, in joint first in the championship, it's going to affect you a little bit negatively, of course, but we've still got a long way on the season to go. Obviously, you're still going to be looking at the fighting for getting into the chase, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I think I still make the chase to show up from here on in. But I mean, I'm really frustrated with the amount of points I'm giving up to Mickelmore. I mean, the only races I haven't finished is when I've been taken out by someone else, and I'm in a bad mood at the moment, so I apologise if my comments aren't the most positive, but it's just really frustrating.
No, it's more than understandable. We wish you a much better race next time round, and we hope to see you in better circumstances up here in the booth next time.
Yeah, guys. Hopefully I'll see you next week for some good chats and not bad chats.
Thank you so much, Neil. Neil Pearson, the DPR team, and yeah, unfortunate for him. Really unfortunate night. Just got caught up in those incidents and just was in the wrong place at the wrong time for all of those incidents, really. But for his teammates so far, there's 2 of the cars up there with Philip Worley and Andrew Dyson at the moment. So it's not all doom and gloom for the team, but when you're driving and fighting for championship points, it doesn't always make it feel better, does it?
No, absolutely not. And you can understand the frustration there, particularly with the way the penalty points system works in iRacing. Carl, you and I, participants as well, and there's nothing worse than having 2 or 3 other cars run into you and you end up getting triggered on your incident point limit, because whether you're at fault or not in iRacing, you do get a 4-point penalty for being involved in an accident. The system's not quite advanced enough yet to independently adjudicate at fault, so it just blames both. And it just seems like Neil there, unfortunately, particularly a rolling infringement at a restart, something like that's ridiculously frustrating in the top tier of Australian and New Zealand oval track racing, that someone just carelessly rolls into the back of your car. But I'm sure, as always, those things will get looked into, and appropriate action, if required, will be taken.
Yeah, that's it. It will all be looked at after the race by the adjudicators and the marshals, and it's going to be a long night, and I imagine there's going to be a lot of coffee involved in it for this race. But up the front, Josh Mickelmore is leading. He's managed to pull out a little bit of a gap over his teammate Jason Martin, around about half a second, who's pulled out about a half, not so much, but almost about a 4-second gap over Philip Worley at the moment. But they are getting into traffic at the moment, so it is starting to make things a little bit closer as they go through the traffic. The battle is going to start heating up. The main fight is behind Michael Skurlock at the moment, with Barry Neal, Joshua Carroll Walden, and Danny G. Those drivers are all very close to each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you say, the traffic just adds another variable into it, with the size of the track and stuff like that. It's going to bunch the field up a little bit, but also more so make them need to be more careful when they're making their way around that lap traffic without the requirement to pass. So there's the potential that it could change the complexion of the race a little bit. We hope it doesn't, but always that chance.
Well, it is, and you're not required to jump out the way, of course, in oval racing. You can fight for that lead if you are on it. And you'll see a lot of these guys, they're just racing around. They've got damage. They're not going to put up much of a fight for sure. But when you get to somebody who is on the lead lap, they might be a little bit less wanting to give up that lead lap position. And you can sometimes see that happen, of course, and you are within your rights to fight for it. So it's, it is a very much part of oval racing. It is that little bit different to the road racing sections that we are... Some of us are used to in that respect. But at the moment, Josh Mickelmore is just siving his way through the traffic. He's managed to pull out a big gap there as Philip Worley's managed to get past Jason Martin for second place. Good move from Philip Worley there. Just catching Jason Martin, who just lost the car going into turns 3 and 4. Ran a bit wide. Worley managing to keep that car a little bit lower and managed to jump on that spot.
Coming up onto the back of Edward Foster here, getting the run down the inside. It'll make his life pretty easily. A couple of laps down there, unfortunately, tonight not being his night, but it is Worley now up into second position and doing a good job making progress there as well. He would be wanting to see Andrew Dyson, his teammate, come through with him and get into a position to help him when they get towards the last few or so laps of the race. But now Andrew Dyson, Jason Martin toiling over that position there. We'll just jump on with them, taking a little step backwards, but you can see there maybe Martin tyres going off. He seems to have dropped off the pace a little bit. He was keeping up with Josh Mickelmore at the restart, but at the moment just struggling a little bit. The 41 of Dyson looking to be in a little bit of condition, potentially tyre-wise. So it may not be too many laps more before he manages to get up on the inside of the 21 entry, as we've got another caution period that has come about, which is very interesting because there doesn't appear to be much of a cause for it.
I saw some smoke down one of these straights. I'm trying to figure out what happened. It can be a little bit tricky sometimes, especially in this in this kind of race.
Can just be light damage or a little brush with the wall on the pit entry. I did notice that Danny G went into pit lane just before the caution was called. So I don't know if maybe he's brushed the wall or something like that. I'll just have a quick look back if I can.
Danny G's still out there on my system. Although it does say he did come into pit lane. Yeah, not sure on that one.
Not sure. The caution there just coming out. Danny G not involved at all, so apologies, Danny. Just had to have a look, mate. But yeah, it doesn't look like it involved him whatsoever, so who knows?
Yeah, I'm sure on that one. As I said, I did see some smoke up on one of the corners, so I reckon a car's just lost it going through one of the corners. Just on that last little stint, so somebody's just lost it going through one of the corners maybe, and they probably caught it, so it hasn't come up as a full incident, but it's just enough to bring out the safety car, so the pace car, I should say. Sorry, I'm gonna have to put $1 in the safety car jar there. But yeah, I think somebody just lost it there and just brought out the yellow flag for that moment. But yeah, not sure who that was, unfortunately. Oh, I think I might have found it, actually. Looks like it might have been one of the Mark 1 boys. So, sorry, you have to forgive me as I'm frantically trying to find out what happened. Riley Curtis. Yeah, Riley Curtis has lost it coming into turns number 3 and 4. The rear end's just stepped out. He's managed to keep it going, but he made a full 360, and that's what brought out that caution. So did find it in the end.
Just bring that up on screen there. Great detective work. Yeah, he has done there. Big drift style, and as you say, not managing to touch the wall, but or managing not to touch the wall, I should say. Yep. But he, yeah, just with a really, really big slide there. Well done, detective. We've found it, and that's why we're under caution.
I'm sure I saw some smoke somewhere, and at last I found it. Yeah, but it was just just that rear end just stepping out there for that briefest of moments, and easy to have happen at this stage of the race. As I said, these tyres are starting to get a little bit more worn as they go on. Pace car is going to come back in, and we're going to have, again, Josh Mickelmore leading the way. Philip Worley's going to be on the outside. Behind him, Jason Martin and Andrew Dyson. Away they go, and Josh Mickelmore does get a fantastic restart there, as well as Philip Worley manages to get a good restart and boxes Jason Martin in a little bit. This could give Andrew Dyson the opportunity to try and get past. It's going to be side by side as they go down the straight. Dyson does get ahead, his nose ahead just as they get down the straights there. But Jason Martin has got the inside line. We've seen that inside line has been working much better all night long. Dyson almost gets in front there, but he doesn't quite make it. He gets a little bit loose there, loses the car a little bit. And that's going to give Jason Martin the chance to get back in front once more. They're still side by side. And it is over. Dyson's going to have to slot in just behind Jason Martin there. So he tried their best there. Didn't quite make it work. Jason Martin, a lot of experience for him and not easy to fall. Not an easy guy to pass either. And he did a fantastic job of keeping that position.
Yeah, Josh Mickelmore got yet another good start. He's had plenty of practice tonight and just starts to work on opening that gap back again. Disappointing for him because he did all the hard work to get through the lap traffic, but to have it just undone there. So he will have to go through that all again, and it may come just towards the tail end of the race as well. So I think might have been Paz who got the lucky dog on that one as well. He's moved back up onto the lead lap in 15th position. So he benefited from the slide.
He did, but he almost lost it himself, just as you were talking about him then. Just as you mentioned his name, he actually started getting squirrely down the straights, but he did manage to catch it, thankfully. I was just about to mention Luke Trahir just having a big tank slapper as well. He managed to keep it going, though. no harm, no foul, but he's fighting there with Lachlan Urquio. Now they're side by side. Little tiny bit of contact possibly between the two of them. They got very close going into the corner, but that battle is heating up between Lachlan Urquio and Luke Trahir at the moment. Those guys are putting on a bit more harder movers. We've got 25 laps remaining. We are getting to the pointy end of this race. Devon Stove just in front of them. Luke Trahir tries to go up around the outside. That's going to be a mistake because that's going to give Lachlan that inside line. If he can make it stick, he might be able to get down on Luke Trahir. Luke Trahir manages to cover him off. Great driving there. He tried to get past Devon Stove. Devon Stove kept his line, did not falter. Luke Trahir managed to get back in time, though, because otherwise he could have lost that position. You can see Lachlan Urquio really trying to put the nose of that car underneath Trahir right now to try and get that position gained. Whoever has that inside line is going to be able to hold it at the moment on these worn-out tyres. So it is very, very dicey out there. A few of these guys did come in for some stops as Trahir does go down the inside of Devon Stove. That's going to push him out wide. That could give Urquio the opportunity now to get down the inside of Devon Stove as well. He's going to take the chance. He does it. Will Stove be able to hold off Matty Raymond? He does just about, but Luke Trahir there just muscling his way through, pushing his way through and getting up into that 11th position at the moment.
Yes, it looks like he's got a bit of pace here as well. Just up on the back of Hamish Gallagher as well. Ruben Phelps has recovered his note.
Sorry, Michael Scarlett just making contact with the wall. We have got a caution out as, we got a big one.
Raymond Jaeger.
Raymond Jaeger has gone round there, so yeah, he's just lost it going into the corner there. The back end's just gone out on him. It's spun around, and he's gone up into the top there. He's had to hold the brakes, and then one of the DPR cars has gone into him. I think it's Phil Otto. Unfortunately, not much he could do there. He did the right thing holding the brakes. Unfortunately, Phil Otto really didn't have anywhere to go.
I was just on board now and just sees couldn't get down into the low line to get out of the way. Had no choice but to jump on the brakes as hard as he could, and unfortunately ending in the front left-hand corner of the Jaegermobile. So that is going to obviously impact on the balance of his night.
It is Devon Stove heading into pit lane right now. So we've got somebody coming into pit lane, so that is something. Everybody else is staying out there. But this could be a good idea for Devon Stove right now coming in. So he's probably going to swap those tyres and get out on those fresh tyres. And he's going to be on that lead lap. He'll be about 15th position. But if those leaders can't make it through to the end of the race, if they have to really fuel save a lot, if they can't quite make it, he could be in for a good position. The only other drivers out there that have stopped up in the top 10 are JCW, Joshua Carroll Walden, Danny G and Ruben Phelps. So those guys have come into the pit lane. So they have made some stops. But everybody up front from Josh Micklemore down to... JCW hasn't made a stop. So from 1st to 7th haven't made stops. So if they do start to run a little bit low on fuel, then they could be in trouble. And of course, sometimes you can even see the tyres just starting to give up a little bit as well. It's not a unknown for punctures to happen. So something to watch out for. I very much doubt we will see that tonight, but it could be something that comes into play as they keep going longer and longer on these tyres and putting more and more pressure on them. But yeah, the front guys, they should be pretty much okay. But if Devon Stove can get those tyres switched on, then he might be able to work his way up there and make his position a little bit better.
Front 5 cars have been very, very stable throughout this evening, so they've all managed their race well enough that they should be able to run it to the end from here and contest for it. So Luke Trahir, we were on board with there, had some good pace coming through. Hamish Gallagher was starting to struggle, and of course we saw Devon Stove struggling for grip as well, as he lost a couple of positions there, not quite able to keep the pace and stay down on that inside line to defend. So some of these guys up the front, when things start to get hot, as you say, might struggle a little bit for grip with those tyres that they've had on the whole race.
Yeah, and fresher tyres do mean you can sometimes run a little bit better on the outside. So you might see a few overtakes happening on the outside for people with some slightly fresher tyres. As the pace truck comes in, Josh Micklemore is going to lead us away again. Philip Worley tries to keep as close as possible this time. Doesn't quite manage to get right up there with Josh Micklemore, but does get a good restart. His teammate gets an even better one as he's side by side, Andrew Dyson and Jason Martin at the moment. He doesn't manage to hold on as they go around the outside, but those two are going to start battling once more as a few cars get a little bit squirrely down the back straight there.
You can just see a couple of cars there trying to make their way down into that bottom line on those fresher tyres and get the push there. Philip Worley's done well. Dyson still battling away with Martin there. And Martin just managing to hold him out from that bottom line as well. Skurlock looking to go through with Martin on Dyson. So that there is an attempted move up into fourth for Michael Skurlock. He's going to have to bide his time a little bit there as he's not quite able to get that done. Jump back out of this camera angle so we can actually see what is going on. And you can see there Skurlock just down. In fact, Martin's done quite well there. He's opened up a little bit of a gap over the fast charging Andrew Dyson. And so that's probably a consequence of Skurlock trying to get through there as well. So JCW.
Sorry.
No, you go, mate.
As those battle on the front is starting to get a little bit closer, Philip Worley has managed to close the gap on Josh Micklemore. We've only got 10 laps remaining now, so it is getting to the very end of this race. We're on lap 140, so this is where you need to start making those moves, and this is where races can be won or lost, of course. So we're going to see some interesting stuff right now. We'll see what people can do up here as Matthew Raymond's gone around. We're going to get the caution out this time round for him. He's had a big moment coming into the corner, and I think he may have had a little bit of help there. I'm just going to have a little bit of a look.
Yeah,
a little bit of a help from Devon Stove there, I think. So he's just come in, and Devon Stove just braked a little bit later than Matty Raymond, just gone into the back of him, and that's caused Raymond to go around and up into the wall for a heavy impact.
Yeah, we'll just bring that one back up again because we didn't quite get to see that. Yeah, does look it's just coming down onto.
So we'll see here just as they come in here.
Yeah.
Devon Stove on those fresher tyres. He can brake a bit later, and he's just misjudged it there and just caught the back of Matty Raymond there, and that's caused that car to just go around, and that is it. And yeah, unfortunate there for Matty Raymond.
Yeah, the big slide there. Also just noticing there on the bottom of the screen in the replay that Lachlan Urquio has moved up in front of Luke Trujillo, so he's now up into 10th position, 29 positions up from his starting position in the race. A fantastic drive so far.
Yeah, Hamish Gallagher as well, up in 9th, 21 positions up, so both of those doing well. Got to mention Hamish Gallagher as well. He got a very heavy impact early in the race. If ever you want to see the front geometry of a Cup car, look at the front of Hamish Gallagher's car because you get a great view of what it looks like. The damage on that car is quite severe, but it's not affecting him too much. Luckily, on these short tracks, it's not a aerodynamics are not really as needed, but you do get a great look of how the tyres sit there and how the camber sits on those cars, and quite a lot of camber on that left-hand side wheel.
Yeah, we've just brought up on screen now, looking at the back of Danny G's car at the front of Hamish Gallagher. And looks like the mechanics didn't do their full job there. That car missing a fair few pieces. But yeah, certainly indicating the point there that the camber on those tyres, probably not even the worst you'd see, obviously with the banking here, not quite that steep.
Yeah, it's not as extreme as it normally is. That's a relatively normal looking camber on that car. It is a bit strange to see though, of course, because it's more of a positive camber rather than negative camber, of course, and that for all of the open wheeler fans out there, of course, you're it's not something you see that often, of course. So yeah, it is a bit strange looking sometimes when you see it for the first time, but that is normal. It isn't damage to the car. That's just how they sit. So just running through the top 10 as they're going to get ready for the restart. So Josh Micklemore, Philip Worley, Jason Martin, Andrew Dyson, Michael Skurlock, Barry Neal, Joshua Carroll-Walden with Danny G in 8th position, Hamish Gallagher in 9th, and Lachlan Urquio there in 10th position. So side by side we go again. Round and round we go. Josh Micklemore is going to launch us away. We've got 5 laps remaining of this race. Looks like Philip Worley's going to try and go with Josh Micklemore this time. He's trying to work out when it's going to happen. Doesn't quite get it to work, but he does get a good restart. He's going to be relatively close this time to Josh Micklemore. They're going to be side by side for the moment. Is he going to be able to keep it there? Or will Jason Martin be able to hang on that inside and take that position away from Worley? But it is going to get very, very frantic here up at the front now. Worley is putting on a lot of pressure at the moment. Andrew Dyson just behind him as well, trying his best. Worley gets a little bit squirrely there, loses a bit of time. That's going to cost a little bit of time to Jason Martin. And that's dropped him out of that battle there. And that has given Skurlock the opportunities. Worley's gone into Jason Martin there.
Going to say the benefactor there was Michael Skurlock while those two were fighting away, but Worley there just managed. Unfortunately, he got turned with Martin, just that back left-hand corner, and that has brought out the caution. And we're going to go green, white. We will, yeah, we should do so.
Green, white checker with this one. Just
bring that back up.
Contact there between Martin and Worley, and that's spun Worley round. It looks like Worley might have had some netcode issues just as he was coming into that corner, because it looks like he had a little bit of a moment coming into the corner, a little bit of a little bit of possibly netcode issues, and then him and Jason Martin contacted together. Real big shame for Philip Worley. He was having a great race up there, was putting up some real good big pressure. But unfortunately, sometimes those little technical issues do creep in, and that contact there is taking him out. So it's up to Andrew Dyson for the DPR team now in 3rd position. Michael Skurlock sitting there in 4th. He's going to be trying his best and putting that pressure on. Barry Neal there in 5th as well. We've seen Barry Neal has had some good pace.
We get into the 14th caution period of the evening, and it will be a green-white checker here. So 3 laps to decide the lead for this one. We've seen some strange stuff in the past with already this season, with people jumping to race victories from the late single-digit position. So hold on to your hats. This one could get very interesting.
Got to say, it's certainly not over yet, but Josh Micklemore has been an absolute beast on those restarts. He's really put in a masterclass tonight. Hopefully he's going to be hoping to try and get another great restart. You saw how close Worley was this time around, really trying to put the pressure on Micklemore, on Josh Micklemore, to really try and take away. Remarkably, Micklemore's fighting for his first win this season. It's been a very consistent year for Josh Micklemore, but he hasn't taken away the W just as of yet. But this could be the night for it, of course. Jason Martin is going to do his best to make sure that does not happen. And then you've got a fast-charging Andrew Dyson and, of course, Michael Skurlock back there, the king of coming from nowhere to win a race, of course, at Daytona. So don't ever count Skurley out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, got to keep an eye on a number of the drivers from here. It could be anyone's run, but as you say, a very, very good drive from Josh Micklemore. So hopefully he can convert this one.
Yeah, he's been very dominant tonight, and you've got to say it's been a really good showing out there, as the pace car will come in again. We're going to have the green-white checker here. If you're new to oval racing, green-white checker means it's going to go green. So we're going to have 1 lap of green, the white flag will come out, and then it will be the checkered flag. Micklemore gets another good run away, Andrew Dyson tries his best. He gets down the inside of Jason Martin. They make contact. Martin gets caught there by Andrew Dyson. He has just managed to keep the car. He does make a little bit of contact with his teammate, Danny G, but he's managed to keep it straight there. Got Michael Skurlock now battling away. He's going to try and get down the inside of Dyson and try and push his way up there. Those guys are going to be battling it hard as we go for this restart. We have Micklemore up in the lead, and he is going to be pushing as hard as possible. The white flag is out, of course, but Micklemore has got that lead. He's looking good at the moment. Those guys are very close behind him as they come up to the checkered flag for the final time. And Josh Micklemore takes the victory there. What a brilliant drive there from Josh Micklemore. Just an absolute masterclass of keeping it out there.
Yeah, and you could just see in the background there, was keeping an eye to see if anything occurred. Lots and lots of, lots and lots of lack of traction, or just the lack of traction is probably the way to go with it. But there's lots of cars just struggling to get the drive down out of that caution period. Of course, the one that didn't, Josh Micklemore, a fantastic first win for season 2021 at Martinsville, and hard to say that anyone, not hard to say, it's hardly did anyone come close to getting the lead away from him throughout this race. I think we saw maybe 2 laps where Michael Skurlock might have been the benefactor of a mix-up under the caution period, but other than that, it's been Josh the whole way through the night. So congratulations to him and Mitch Motorsport for a race well won at this stage with a 1-2 and 2 with Andrew Dyson in second and Michael Skurlock bringing home third position there after the green-white checker restart. He jumped up into third for Crank Esports.
So the engine goes for Micklemore. So running through the rest of the finishing order. So 4th place was Barry Neal there, and Jason Martin ended up finishing in 5th place. So 2 cars in the top 5 for Mitch Motorsport there. Good solid finish for Jason Martin. That's going to help him out in his championship. Hamish Gallagher managed to get up to 6th in the end. 24 places gained, especially in that very damaged car. Great drive from Hamish Gallagher. Luke Trahair in 7th, with Lachlan Urquio having a great recovery and managing 31 positions at the end of that race to finish 8th, of course. Joshua Karen Walden in 9th, with Manny Raymond finishing 10th. Devin Stove ended up in 11th, with James Robbie in 12th. Ruben Phelps in 13th, with Perry Anastakis in 14th. Philip Worley, unfortunately, down there in 15th at the end of that race, with Stephen Williams in 16th. Nathan Button 17th, with Danny G in 18th. Last of the cars on the lead lap. Not sure what happened to Danny G there, actually, because he was running a bit higher than that, so I imagine he might have got a little bit of contact there. Edward Foster in 19th, 3 laps down at the end of that one. Norman Clark behind him, 20th. 21st was Raymond Yeager with Matt Hunter, 22nd. 23rd was Drake Spence with Mirko Dornak, 24th. Riley Curtis was 25th with Phil Otto, 26th. 27th was Tristan Koch with Ryan Jones, 28th. 29th was Gary Wellman. Aidan Schultz, 30th. 31st was Neil Pearson. Jason Hartigan, 32nd. 33rd, Dwayne Priest. 34th was Chris Purnell. Aaron Dillon, 35th. 36th was Justin Howe. Scott Griffith was 37th. 38th, Adam Rosell. And Liam Ford was 39th. But yeah, absolutely brilliant win there for Josh Micklemore. And first win of the season, as I said, for Micklemore. He's had such a consistent season so far. 6 top 10 finishes, 2 of them top 5, but first victory of the year. And got to say, that was well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't think of a moment all night where he put a foot wrong. So the unfortunate thing is the steward's going to be pretty busy tonight, having a look through everything that happened here. But we'll try and drag in our top 3 here and have a chat with them about how things were out on the track. I'll just see if we can grab them here. Just bear with me a sec.
Yeah, so just having a quick look back at Danny G, and it looks like he just had a moment just on the exit of the corner, and that's what cost him those positions. And he just ran a bit wide and then went down the order after losing the car up into the wall a little bit, and yeah, that's where he dropped down, unfortunately. But we've got our winners and our top, well, almost our top 3 up into got our top 3 up into the booth. So we will start with 3rd place man Michael Skurlock. Skurly, how's it going?
Hello, Carly. Good, mate.
Hello, Scully. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, it's good to be back, mate. It's been a while, isn't it?
It
I start
has.
missing
yeah.
you, mate.
I know. It's terrible. I get withdrawal symptoms when I don't see you for too long. It's terrible. Congratulations on the P3 finish. Looks like it was a bit of a tricky race out there.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on, mate. It's like half the field was playing demo derby and half of us were trying to race. So we wouldn't get more than 4 or 5 laps at a time. Like literally, I think it was like, it might have even been 3, man. Like I was, I was giving them the benefit of the doubt 4 laps. So I think it was 3 laps every time, mate. About 10 runs of 3. And then, yeah, Ryan Jones got off the track and we got about 10 in, apparently. And, yeah, after that, it was good racing while it was happening, but like I sort of wore my tyres off a bit early and I couldn't really do anything with it. And you can only make a pass here if you're willing to sort of hurt somebody else normally. And I just, I haven't had a good spot in a while, so I just wanted to sit there and just finish with a good spot, to be honest.
Yeah, well, we did see a little bit earlier on in the race. You got caught up on the high line, and it looked very tricky out there.
Oh yeah, just got railed, mate, by everyone.
Yeah, it definitely looks like the low line was the place to be to have that speed. But as you say, managed to get a good finish. It's nice to see you back up there. Bit of a rough night for the team as well, unfortunately. Although Luke managed to get in the top 10, so in 7th place. But yeah, managed to get up in P3 again. It's nice to have you back up there. And of course, that's going to be something that's going to help you for getting into the chase, of course.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like, Luke's been getting better and better all the time, so it's not going to be long before he's beating me every week, I reckon. But that's his, he hasn't done many races around there, so he's just sort of feeling it out. But he always gets there at the end, like he always finds a way to get up. But yeah, Chris had a bit of a roller coaster run there. He was a bit up and down. And yeah, like I said, man, I'm just happy to finally get some points again without crashing out or getting run into by somebody, or you know what I mean.
Well, we're glad to have you getting some points, and we're glad to have you back in the booth. It's always a pleasure, Skirly. Of course, before I let you go, the usual things of just letting people know, sponsors and whoever you want to give a shout out to. Yeah,
mate, just Crank Esports, iRace Designs, and Chriso's virtual motorsport mentor. And just shout out to Davo, tell him that the chin, mate, was back on the wheel again, and it's going to stay there from now on. Thanks for you guys. I always forget to say thank you to you guys. Thank you. Do, and we always curse you out for it after we've gone off air, of course. But always a pleasure, Scully. Always a pleasure. Cheers to that. Next up, we'll jump to our second place man for the DPR team, Andrew Dyson. How's it going, Andrew?
Hey guys, how are you? I'm pretty good.
Good, thank you. Nice to see you in the box again up here. Congratulations on that P2. Looks like it was as we say, a pretty tough race, but you were having some pretty hard racing with everybody up there at the front.
Yeah, I kind of found myself in a position where I was racing Jason quite a bit towards the end there, and he did a really great job to hold the bottom while I was on the top for such a long time, and I actually feel kind of bad that he was able to do that for so long, and as soon as I got on the bottom, unfortunately, I got loose and slid up into him, but it wasn't my style, and he deserved a podium tonight. But yeah, it was pretty tough racing, and props to him. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we saw you battling with Jason and battling a bit with your teammate as well. It looked like it was a great race for Philip Woolley up until, unfortunately, that little bit of contact with him, of course. And big shame to see that happen always, but as is motorsport. But you guys were really running well up there tonight, and we've seen some good results from you guys. Are you feeling a little bit happier on these sort of short tracks and these oval tracks in general?
Oh, I think the smaller tracks where, well, I think Neil Pearson calls them cookie cutter tracks. We don't do too well at because we're kind of new to this thing. But when it comes to the tracks like this, where you're kind of using the brake and you're rotating the car in and driving it off on the throttle, being really careful, it suits us a little bit more coming from circuit stuff. But even in saying that, we've got NASCAR Yoda, our boy Neil Pearson, who we call him NASCAR Yoda because he just helps us out with everything. He's a bloody legend, and he gives us so much help. Honestly, we wouldn't even be bothered. I'll probably sound like I'm pissing in his pocket a bit here, but we honestly wouldn't even bother racing this stuff without the help of Neil, and he's such a massive help, and that's probably why we're at least somewhere thereabouts.
No, it's good to see, and we're always happy to have some fresh faces in the series, and especially getting some new faces up here in the booth, of course, and getting some new people in the series as well, getting into those top positions. As I say, it looks tough out there tonight. Were you struggling a fair bit once you did get to those green flag sort of racing stages?
No, I wouldn't say struggling. I think everyone would have been in the same sort of, I suppose, struggle with the tyres as we didn't pit the whole race. But at the same time, it wasn't so bad because the track was cooling off. Obviously, it turned to nighttime weather, and all those cautions early on probably helped save them a little bit. So it wasn't super bad, but it was tough racing Jason for quite a while, ending up on the outside. The car was getting really loose, so I tucked in behind him again for a while, tried to cool the tyres off, and that was tough. But for the rest of the time, managing the tyres, same as usual stuff. Just really trying to take it easy, manage the tyres, don't get them too hot, and keep it from over rotating.
Good job to the end there, and it was good to see those battles going, and good finish towards the end. And shame about a little bit of contact, but it is racing sometimes, and these are the things. But congratulations on P2. Just one more step up to go for yourself for the Cup Series, of course. So hopefully we can get you back in the booth at that top spot sometime.
Yeah, hopefully one day, man. It's a surprise to even be on the podium. To be honest, because everyone that races in this series is high quality operators, and the competition is actually really tight at the top. We can see how close the lap times are in qualifying, and how close everybody races side by side during the races. It's high quality competition, and I honestly can say I did not expect to get a podium in this series at any track, really. So pretty happy with that.
Congratulations. Before we let you go, of course, the usual things, shout outs and sponsors and all those kind of things.
For sure, man. Well, shout out to Worley. I think he probably should have had a podium tonight. He was killing it this week in practice, even doing such a great job. A real shame to see that, but I'm sure he'll bounce back. Thanks to FGM for putting on the broadcast, and all of FGM sponsors. Thanks so much to ANZCAR for putting on these events and bringing a place where everyone can race together so hard and so clean and fair. And of course, thanks to our own sponsors, Simrigs.com, Southwell Lift and Hoist, Benmax Mechanical, BetSmart Racing Service, and MP Designs, and ANZCAR Yoda with the paint jobs.
And again, congratulations. This 2 times in the booth this week as well. So you've been doing well this week. Of course,
Yeah.
The winner,
Yeah,
Coaster, of
I'll
course.
see you guys on Thursday night, but I did not expect to actually chat to you guys, so that's pretty cool.
Exactly, you called it. So hopefully we'll say it again, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Oh, yeah, maybe. We'll see. I'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you so much, Andrew Dyson. Next up for Mitch Motorsport, first win of the 2021 season in the Cup, Josh Micklemore. Congratulations on that dominant win.
Cheers, guys. Yeah, it was a lot of yellows, but we're able to hold it up front and get that 31 Chevy on the top step tonight.
Congratulations. It's been one of those things that's been, you're always close to those victories. Of course, you're always one of those drivers that we say to watch out for. It's been a very consistent season for you, of course. And you're going to jump up to the lead of the championship now. You were in joint first place when you came into it, and now you're going to jump up to the lead, of course. What was the key out there tonight for your success?
Just trying to keep it out front. So, and managing the tyres as well a little bit, but because we had so many yellows, it wasn't as bad. But by the end of that run, the car was getting very, very loose on entry because we were throwing it in pretty hard. And there was one mistake I did make, and I went high a bit. Thankfully, I was about half a second in front of Philip at that stage, and I was able to get back down. But yeah, other than that, I don't know, mate. Just try and keep out at front and hope for the best. Just keep doing the thing.
Well, you kept doing your thing, and it did work out well for you. I mean, we said this year it's been a long time coming for you. We're around 8 now, of course, and first win. But you've been up in the top 10, 6 times this year, top 5 twice this season, and it's been a good year so far for you. And again, the team is looking strong as well. As always with you guys, it's a bit of a powerhouse team, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, we just try to keep doing our best week in, week out, put in a fair bit of time when we're not racing these leagues and doing other leagues and stuff as well, and trying to do some American leagues on the weekend as well. So there's more than just this league we're doing to keep up our driving and that. So, the boys and myself will put in a lot of pretty hard work to stay at this level as well. So
that's it. It's practice that makes perfect, and I know how much practice you guys put in. It's just it's why it's it's an honour to race with you guys sometimes, and it's very fun racing against you and seeing you guys race, because you do put in a lot of effort, and we see sort of the level of competition really when you guys are out on track, because it really does bring it up, of course. Obviously getting the win, and sort of as we're sort of still got a long way to go this year, of course, for the championship. I mean, it's nowhere near over, but being at the top, you must be pretty okay, pretty happy about that.
Yeah, my intentions coming into tonight was try and finish in a decent position where I can still hopefully be up at the top step in the championship points wise. So just being consistent in that, and yeah, we're able to do that tonight again. Get the first win in this series for the year as well, which is fantastic. The second win for Mitch Motorsports as well.
Yeah, no, congratulations on that, of course, and we look forward to seeing some more of the action and seeing you back in the booth again soon, of course. Before I let you go, Josh, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Yeah, just the Mitch Motorsport boys, Hamish, Jason, and Daniel, for all the work they've been putting in. Good work, fellas. ANZCAR for putting on the Killer League. BK Designs for the paint schemes, and you guys for putting on the hell of a stream. And also Mum and Dad, if they're watching, and Jason Baxter. Cheers, guys, for supporting me tonight, watching as well.
We're always happy to put on the broadcast, and we're always happy to have you up here in the booth as well. Thank you so much, Josh Mickelmore, Mitch Motorsport. We'll hopefully see you up here again soon.
All right, cheers, guys.
Well, Stuart, that was it was a bit of a longer one tonight. It was a bit of a tricky one out there tonight as well for those guys. But brilliant win there from Josh Mickelmore, just absolutely dominant out there.
Yeah, a few surprises. A few people will be disappointed with the night. A few people will be disappointed with some of the driving, but it's a short track with a lot of close competition. Not a lot of margin between these guys in this top tier league, so it's probably always bound to happen. But I think at the end of the night, Josh thoroughly deserved to take home the bickies here, and he got his just reward as well. So he'll go into next round at the top of the championship, which I think, based on his season so far, thoroughly deserved.
Yeah, and I think he's going to be quite hard to sort of knock off that with his consistency as well this season. It's one of those things that he is very good at. It's being consistent, of course. Of course, we have next Monday we have the trucks back, and back to a more normal style of circuit. We are back at the oval circuit of Charlotte. That's on the 12th of April. Then, of course, we'll be off to Richmond Motor Speedway on the 15th for the Cup Series. And, of course, on FGM, we have the Oz Pro-Am Series on Tuesday night as well, Stuart.
Yeah, so Oz Pro-Am, we head to Lime Rock for their first or second wildcard round for the season in the Audi 90 GTO. So that's going to be pretty wild there for a couple of 20-minute races. So jump in for that one as well.
Yeah, it should be pretty fun and exciting for that. So we will wish you all a good night, and we will see you at the next upcoming events. Before we finish off, though, Stuart, we got the I'll let you quickly talk about the upcoming
the Prelude to the Dream.
Yes, that's the one. Thank you.
Thursday, June 10th on FGM eCast, we're having our first charity stream. It will be a 12-hour stream that will culminate with the Prelude to the Dream run in the Super Modifieds. As you can see on the screen there, it's Thursday, June 10th. Race start, I believe, is around about 8 o'clock, and there's going to be as many heats as we can fit into that one. It's a $5 donation going towards a very good cause as we try to assist family in need, trying to raise money for a mobility vehicle for their daughter, much needed. We've already got, I think, 15 or so drivers entered into this one so far, so it's building very quickly. We only announced it last week. Just jump in, get involved in it. It's going to be a good fun race. If you're not an ANZCAR member, that's okay. Just reach out to us through the ANZCAR Facebook page. We'll get you added in for the event so you can run and have some fun. We'd like to see as many drivers as we can get down there. We're aiming to raise $1,000 over the course of the stream. So if you're not going to drive, make sure you tune in and chuck in a couple of gold coins if you can, because I know the family concerned will very much appreciate it. So that's coming up on June 10th.
Absolutely, and off to Eldora for that one. So it's going to be an exciting race, getting a bit down and dirty there. So looking forward to that one for sure. So I think we'll call that one an evening. So wish you all a good night. Thank you so much for everybody that joined us. Thank you so much to everybody that has subscribed as well. We are always thankful for that. To everybody that's joined us to watching, myself, Carl Withy, and Stuart Brown, we'll wish you a very good evening.
Thanks very much, Carl. We'll see you all next week on Monday night for the trucks. Have a good one.